Hey, what's up everybody? This is R&J Tool Breakdown. Hey look, I'm Ranch John, as you know. You can find me on @RanchJohn on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
This is Jared. I go by Jared Scissorhands on Instagram. You can find me at Jared Brooks on Facebook.
The show basically is about the tool breakdown. So we're going to take different tools, break different tools down, show how the tools work. Well, not necessarily show how they work. Some shows we may show how they work. But this particular show segment, we're going to talk about how the tool works itself. So let's get back into it. The first tool that we're going to feature is the Badness Gold FX. My bro. We got our hands on them. They've been kind of hard to get.
Yes.
Where did you get yours, man?
I went down to what is that? Cosmo Prop. I actually went down there. They only had one left in stock, and they had also one of these too. This is also a really good tool too.
Yeah.
The Babyliss FX foil shavers.
Okay. Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah. I like that one also. I have it actually in silver, but I like that as well. Man, so I found mine at Cosmo as well. Here in the city of St. Louis. We're from St. Louis, by the way. I found mine at Cosmo. I gotta tell you guys, I was very, very skeptical at first. I've been seeing a lot of guys online talk about the tool, but I just didn't know. How did you feel, man? Did you go into it being a skeptic as well, man?
I was very skeptical. There's a lot of tools that come out and they're really kind of like a fad. Like people just are into them because there's what's being promoted more. I was very skeptical of these. They really changed my perspective.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So what I did do is I charged mine up. When I first got it, mine failed. Let me get the box for you guys. So this is the actual box that they came in. It's actually a pretty impressive box when you say.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty dope.
Nice packaging.
Yeah, real nice packaging, real clean. I guess you figure you spending mine roughly were. Well, how much would you pay?
It is kind of just shy of 160.
Yeah. So you figure, for $160 trimmer, it should come with some nice packaging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it came in this nice packaging. I like the housing of the case. I thought that was pretty dope. I let mine charge for a bit when I first got mine. I think I left them on the charger overnight just to make sure that they have full power. I didn't want to charge them and turn them on too prematurely because I know with some trimmers, if you turn them on too prematurely, then the battery kind of somewhat gets set in that mode in a sense, where they don't necessarily hold a full charge over a period of time.
Yeah.
How did you charge yours? Did you let them set?
Yeah, I did the same thing. I honestly, I had them on the charger for a full day before I actually started.
The cool things about this is what I noticed is once I got that full charge, when I first turned them on, even before I set them, it was like a slight delay. Did you notice that, man?
I actually kind of like it. It's different, but like you turn it on and it's like a second pause before it actually kicks on. It's not like an immediate kick on.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
But I like it. It's different. Once it kicks on, you just immediately feel the intensity of the power in this trimmer. And I'm really, surprised on how it's so powerful and yet it's cordless at the same time.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I'm here! Yeah, I like that. I thought that was pretty dope.
That's a cool feature.
Now, the second thing that I noticed was how you actually set the blade.
Man, that was
a game
changer. And you guys will know what we're talking about once you purchase one. It's for those who are really...
Actually, I have the tools here, Jay. We can kind of show them a little bit.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me go through this stuff. So they give you a couple different things. They actually give you some tools to actually set the blade yourself. So it comes with this piece right here. I guess this is kind of like, what you want to call it? Like, I guess like a blade setter in a sense?
Yeah, it just kind of holds the blade in place.
So it goes on the back of the clipper. So it goes on the stationary blade. It doesn't necessarily go on the moving blade, if you can see that. I think that that's pretty cool. So it goes on and it holds it from the back, the stationary blade. Now, how you actually set it is you use a small Allen key. And if you notice, I would have to zoom in. I'm gonna try to zoom in as best as I can, okay guys? But if you notice, if you look at it, there's a few screws right here on the back, on the moving blade. And so with the Allen key, you just kind of loosen it up a little bit. And they said you can push up the moving blade and set it and tighten it without actually taking the whole blade off.
Right. That's dope.
Yeah.
And it's so dope because when you set it, on each side of the blade, it's an even distribution of the cutting blade.
Yeah.
You know, on a lot of, you know, other trimmers, you know, the moving blade, you set it and it's it kind of moves a little bit. You know, you may have one side of the blade that's slightly up more than the other one, and there's really nothing to be done about it.
Now, what I will say though is once I set it, and I tried to drop it down just a little bit to zero gap. Now, the first time I had it extremely close, I had it too close. And man, you know, there's some power in these things, man. For it to be a corded, it feels like a corded clipper.
Yeah.
So there's some power in these. I'm very impressed. But I had it set too close, and they were in Wolverine mode.
Right, you can hurt somebody. You really can.
So you definitely want to make sure you set these properly. You know, but
once they're set, they're set.
Yeah.
That blade is not moving.
Yeah. Yeah. So
very well built. I like them, man.
Yeah, I do too. I want to give them a test, like in the sense where I want to kind of like, I don't know if I want to try to keep them off and charge them for a period of time and
to see how long.
Yeah,
they last.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I feel like they would last for because I mean, I cut 3 heads back to back when I first got them and they were fully charged, and they still had the same power.
They still had that same juice.
Yeah.
And you didn't put them on the charger?
Nope.
Oh, no, I just not noticed this feature. Did you see it?
I did not. Like we just tripped off this. They can hang.
Yeah, if you like to hang your tools.
They can hang.
That's dope. See, man, this is
It is very well thought out. Yeah.
Good job, Babyliss. Good job. So, I don't know, to conclude our review on this trimmer, in terms of like how it works and performs, how would you rate the performance of the clipper itself as far as the edge of it?
It is a very solid. Honestly, I mean, I've used many different liners. You know, I've been cutting hair probably like 13 years now. I've been playing with all kinds of liners. These are by far the best that I've used. A very solid, crisp line.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a solid liner. You know, like very crispy. Honestly, you know, it almost looks like you already used the straight razor after you line them up with it.
Yeah, I would agree. And then I would say another thing that I like about it is, once again, I have to go back to this. Say for instance, if someone feels like, or if you feel like, okay, well, you set the blade and you feel like, okay, it might not necessarily be set close enough for you and you want to take it a little closer, you don't have to take the whole blade off. I got to go back to that again because it's a game changer in the sense of it cuts down time. So say for instance, if you have a client in the chair and you're like, okay, I want to take the blade just a little closer, or I want to drop the blade some. You know, if you have a kid or a woman client and you want to drop it just a little bit more because it might be a little too sensitive for them, man, you could drop the blade in a matter of 2 minutes and get right back on your client. Yeah. So I think that that's pretty cool. You know, but as far as the performance, man, it cuts through every texture of hair.
It's excellent.
So straight hair?
Straight hair.
Did great.
Great.
Curly hair?
Perfect.
Wet hair? Did you do any hair?
I did actually cut some wet hair. It cuts right through the wet hair. If you're doing like enhancements, yeah. You put the enhancement on there, and honestly, it doesn't matter what enhancement you use. It's just something about the blade; it will cut through the enhancement. So you need to go over something that you may have distributed too much enhancement on, and you got to kind of cut some of that out. This will cut right through.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Okay, so I guess on a scale of, if we're gonna say we're gonna use a system, we're gonna give it a star system, 1 star to 5 star.
Yeah, 1 star to 5 star. I would say, as far as just being a solid liner, all around, all-purpose liner.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would give it a 5.
I would too.
I really would give it a 5.
I
No
give it a
cloud, just a solid.
Solid 5. 5 stars. Anything else extra?
The way that it's held in your hand is I like it because it's like it's cylinder. It's a cylinder shape. There's really not any, it has it's like a flashlight almost, like one of those handy grip flashlights that you would use that are well built. It just sits in the hand really nicely. It can, it's good. The way that the blade sits up off of the trimmer.
Yeah, I like that.
That's really good too.
Some edges, it's kind of difficult to get certain angles.
Behind ears.
Yeah, so that's key. Damn, I mean, they did a good job at constructing this. Now, I will say this also, the weight slightly heavier.
Yeah, it's a little heavier.
It's a little heavier on the heavier side, but it's not bad. It's not a bad weight. It's kind of like it's kind of good to have it slightly heavier.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Only thing I would say is this: if you are really into doing like freestyle designs and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really. In my personal opinion, y'all, it's not really the best liner for doing freestyle design. Why? That blade glides.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a bit longer. I did a small stencil because I know, like in some cases, like I know we do our designs similar in a sense, where we go in and when we start our designs, we like to keep it thin, and then we, level it out and balance it out later in the course of the design. I think it's okay to go in with just a thin line first.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If you're going in with just a thin line first, now if you want to add depth to it, then I didn't really play with it like that just yet.
Like you want to open the line?
Yeah, open the line up and stuff like that. I didn't really play with it like that, but if I'm just tapping it and I'm just kind of like stenciling the design to begin with, I think it was okay when I did someone the other day. I thought it was all right. But I need to play around with it a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, I guess the weight of it, I guess it's not the blade, It's with freestyle design.
You know what?
I feel like it's the weight of it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That might be exactly.
If this was lighter
for freestyle design, yeah.
Kill it.
Okay.
But it's just that weight,
Yeah,
and because the blade, when it hits that skin, it literally glides on the skin. Right?
Yeah, there you go. That's
what it is. It's the weight of it.
Yep.
Not that the weight is a bad weight. It's just a little bit on the heavier side.
Okay. I can agree with. I didn't do any research in terms of like if you have to replace the blade. A lot of the other clippers they've been reproduced a lot, so they have a lot of things that go along with the clip.
I actually went down to Cosmoprof today.
They have an extra blade?
The lady, she said that they actually ordered some replacement blades.
Oh, she did?
And as well as replacement blades for shaver.
So there you guys go.
Also too, I like how long the rechargeable cord is. So if they do go out on you, you can put them on the charger and they'll work just like a cord trimmer, but
definitely a plus.
It's a plus because the cord is long.
These don't come with a mount. Alright? So for those who love the mounts, they don't come with them.
Which is good. I don't like the mounts.
They take up a lot of space.
Do away with the mount.
That's all we have to say about this trimmer. I give it 5 stars all the way around the board.
5 stars. 5 stars.
Alright. Peace. Thanks for tuning in.
RNJ tool breakdown. There we go. Okay.
Alright, thanks y'all.
More videos coming soon.
Yes, sir.